After Richard Nixon declared his war on drugs in 1971, the U.S. prison population rose from 300,000 to 2.3 million incarcerated people, two-thirds of which were people of color. In 1994, President Nixon's domestic policy chief, John Ehrlichman, had an interesting admission to make about that war on drugs. He said, the Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities, we could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did, he said. We know by way of statistics that white people are more likely to be dealing and using, but they've been attacking public education for teaching basic facts like this for the past decade to stir up racial anxiety in the white population. A black man without a criminal record is less likely to get a job interview callback than a white man that has a criminal record. When you use the power of the state to criminalize an entire race of people, to skew the perception of that race by purposefully creating conditions with the intent for those conditions to mimic what you want white people to think of that race, what is that? It's racism, but it's also violence. It's ethnic cleansing. The fact of the matter is that if we stopped purposefully creating volatile and unequal conditions for people of color with the intent to skew the white perception of them, our society would grow and build from the ground up. When we help the black community on a state and federal level, we improve conditions overall. But that would mean troglodytes like Senator Tom Cotton, amongst others, wouldn't have jobs anymore. Fascism would be out of business, and that's not profitable for them. Black people rotting in prison, even less likely than white people with the same charges to get a job offer after release, creates conditions for constant recidivism within the black community. And the sole reason for these intentionally crafted conditions is white profit. Slavery never went away. It just became privatized. White people in power are responsible for the way white people perceive people of color. They sold white America a narrative about their character and then meticulously developed a way to keep the black community in poverty and to keep them in the prison system so that the narrative they wanted to push would become a visible reality. So when white people say that they're just not that into politics, what they really mean is that they have no interest and no desire to fix this. And everybody should take that personally.